Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. So, I have been sharing with you my 5-year journey. You know, if you look, I signed up for this YouTube channel in August of 2022. I didn't start making videos until January, February of 2023. And a lot of my videos were me talking and sharing things and whatever else. I loved doing those videos. They were great. But certain people who had who wanted to twist my words and wanted to continue to think that they knew who I was and that they could control me would take whatever I would say and share and try to make a connection with me. Here was the problem, though. There was no, my end of the connection was never broken. Never. So when so I was raised, she was never diagnosed with narcissism. But if you knew my mother, I mean, there's a lot of people that know her and only know the nice her. There's also a lot of people that know the crazy her that's behind closed doors. And I went into adulthood and I was constantly attracting people like her. They weren't like exactly her. None of them were as rotten and vindictive as she was. I always when they get mad at me and we'd be fighting, I would always tell them, really, you think you can manipulate me? I was raised by the world's best manipulator. You are not ever going to get anything past my eyes. And they'd get mad because if I thought that something wasn't right, I would ask. And how they reacted told me exactly whether I was right or not. And I would and I would share this with them. It wasn't like I didn't tell them these things. I told them all of these things. All of the people that I had been with. Not all of them were narcissistic. It was mainly the ones that were in my life long term. And they 100% believed that I didn't know what they were doing, even though I would tell them that I knew what they were doing. I didn't hide it like it was some secret, because it wasn't a secret. I knew exactly what the hell they were doing. I wanted them to know that I knew what the hell they were doing, and they didn't like it. Well, sorry. But here's one thing that I told them all. And it's always happened. And there was one that absolutely hated that I ever said this. He swore that even if what I'm gonna tell you now was true for him, he would never, ever come back and tell me, and he would never, ever let anyone know. But that's where he was foolish, because he may pretend that nobody knows, and he won't come and tell me that I was right, because he's still in his ego. He still wants to believe that it's not true. Just because you pretend that it's not true to the world, I know that you know. And I told you years ago that I would know when you knew. Because I told you and everybody else, I am love. I did not have it, and I craved it so bad as a child that I found love as a child. I learned love from animals. Animals are what taught me what love is. And they know unconditional love. We humans suck at it. So, now I'm talking in general to everybody. Here's the thing. When I end the relationship or they end the relationship, it really doesn't matter. When the connection is severed, we keep going. I keep going back and forth with these guys for a period of time. Each time they know exactly where I stand, and that if it happens again, I'm done. That they're not going to know when I finally cut the connection, but they're going to know it because they'll never be able to come back to me. It's not an option at that point. You wasted all of your chances. Now it's time for you to go out there and see that you're never going to find someone like me. Because they would have had to be raised by the world's best manipulator and learned how to love from animals. How many people do you think that would be? Because we really don't care about the animals of this world. Not at all. We encroach on their homes all the time, and then when they come into our new neighborhoods, we exterminate them. We don't care about the animals. Not at all. Because you can't just care about one animal. You have to care about them all. They're living, breathing beings. I learned that when I was young. So, what I used to tell these, and I told all of them, I said is, when you have disrupted my peace enough that I am done and I want my peace back, I will cut the connection. And once the connection is cut, you will know. Because I won't give you any love. None whatsoever. No matter what. You won't be able to manipulate me. You won't be able to play your mind games. You won't be able to entice me with sex or gifts or anything else. You'll know. Because I will cut the connection right in front of their faces. And I would tell them this. I will cut that connection right in front of you. And I will do it months, possibly years before I finally walk out. So you have enough time to decide whether you want that old me back or not. The one that actually, was holding this connection together. And if not, once I was done, connection was severed. Here's the key. The connection you had to me was severed. See, just because I am not with somebody, I will always love them. Because they spent a special place in my heart and my soul. That does not mean that I want anything to do with them. That does not mean that they have another chance with me. That does not mean that they ever get to feel me connected to them again. But they'll go through, and I told them, you're going to go through life, and in the beginning, you're going to badmouth me to everybody. You're going to say, I'm the crazy one, that I'm the one that, did all the things that they did. And I told them each one of them this. I'm the crazy one. You're going to run around telling everybody that that I'm the crazy one. But you know what? You know what's going to happen? There's going to come a point where you're going to realize that I don't care. I'm not connected to you anymore. I am moving along in life. And when you start to see that you are not connected to me anymore is when you're going to start looking for me in everybody around you. And you might find bits and pieces of me, but I am my own person, just as everybody else is out here. You'll never find another me. But you'll spend your life looking. And I said to each one later on, not in the very beginning, but later on, I said to each one of them, I said, you'll come back. You'll come back and tell me. That's why they come back, is to tell me, fuck, I was right. But there was that one that was like, I'm never. So he doesn't have to. I can tell you that I know. I can still feel it. Energy, don't lie. So, if you want to get to this point where I'm at, to be able to see the games that are being played on you and be able to tell them exactly how this is going to go, reach out. Let's get you on your journey with the man upstairs. Let's get let's get you energetically leveled up and loving yourself. Let's get your true authentic self out. Because for centuries they've been trying to tell us we can't be ourselves, that we must conform to what society and what is culturally acceptable, traditions. Well, some of us came to this earth to break those traditions up. Those culturally acceptable bullshit. Some of us came to earth strictly for that purpose. God made us here and made us the little rebellious person that we are to stir it up. And the funny part is some of us have freely told this to people. Most people just laugh at me like I'm freaking crazy. But I'm almost 52 years old, and guess what? I've watched it my whole life. And now, thanks to all this technology, people like me were able to come together. We're able to make a stronger force. We are going to be unstoppable. I'm telling you. Most of us are fed up with the lies and the bullshit. The manipulation, the control, the division. We're tired of it. And we all have been working on ourselves last 5 or 6 years. So we can come out and rip this damn Band-Aid off. But none of you can see that. I don't understand how. But there's a reason that we came here. Because if you truly pay attention to the movies of Jesus, what is the one theme? God doesn't want governments. There is supposed to be nobody over anybody else. There's nothing higher than God. But the way that we live in our life is God comes on Sunday. Maybe he comes on Saturday. Maybe he comes at a Bible study too. Maybe we help out the church in certain ways. But our time, our energy is focused on working. So more things can be produced. So more money can be made. So governments can have us as slaves. All of the movies, if you pay attention to them, tell you Jesus doesn't want anything above him. Are you giving the same amount of time that you give to making the almighty buck so you can live the American dream? Are you giving that much time to your Father in heaven? Are you giving that much time to Jesus? No. So you have people that are above you that you have devoted more of your time and attention on instead of the man upstairs. Can't you see that? You can't see that. Governments are not supposed to be there. We need to go back to when it was indigenous people. When, prior to us being colonized, colonizing us was really what colonizing society is the problem. We're supposed to be learning from each other. We're supposed to be growing together in our families, in our tribe. That's your relatives. That's your family. There are certain cultures that still hold those true pieces, where the whole family lives together, from parents down to grandkids. It's customary in certain cultures because that's how you're supposed to be, so you won't be tied to the American dream. You won't be tied to making a buck and owning a big house, because all of you are together and you're gonna make it work together, and it's not gonna be hard. You're gonna have plenty of time to give to him and watch your life turn out so much happier. It's an amazing thing. And the truth is, no, I don't live with family. I normally travel around in the RV. I stay at families' houses, or if they have a shop or something, I might hang out in the back. A lot of mooch docking. If you don't know what that means, look it up. It's an RVer term. And I can tell you that being near family is extremely important. Your tribe is going to guide you. They're going to be able to pass on to you the way that the family should be. And I can see on both my parents' sides. My grandmother on my mother's side had 8 kids, and my grandmother on my father's side had 18. And well, they were arguing before it was between 17 and 18, but whatever, we'll go with 18. Anyways, so right, got off topic there. Twice my ramblings. Anyways, so I watched. Not only was I raised by a crazy woman, but I watched both sides of these families. I watched them be torn apart. I watched the battles between the siblings. and I watched the grandkids come in and go, this is not normal. What's wrong with you people? And things started to change. So there's a reason that they keep it so you have to keep working more and more and more and spending your hard-earned money, because the only way to manipulate and control you is to keep you divided from your tribe. Do you see it? I mean, this isn't something that I've just seen. I've known this since probably the mid-90s. It was blatant. It was things that I was just like, well, this isn't right. This isn't normal. Why do we do it this way? And I could see it all. I'm like, none of this makes any damn sense. They throw you into religion, and they tell you to get baptized and to follow God and follow the word and all of this. And as you do, when you start making questions that don't support their familiarity, you're just supposed to have faith. So you want, faith is make-believe. And they would always look at me and say no. Okay, then how can I believe? How can I have faith if I only interact with him one day a week? After every meal. Maybe a story before bed. Maybe a verse or two in the morning. How am I supposed to build faith? Learn to trust him if this is the only amount of time that I'm devoting to it? It never made any sense to me. And I talk to him all the time. I have since I was a child. I literally, if I'm outside, I might look up to the sky and have a conversation with him. If I'm doing the dishes, I might have a conversation with him. Does he communicate back? Yes, he does. It's not the same for everybody because it's specific. It's something that only you would know that it's coming from him, because there are things that you haven't said to anybody. There are certain pieces of you that you've hidden out of fear of being told that you're rebellious and that you're, you're wrong. There's something that when you talk to him, he talks to you. Not maybe actual words, but it's unique to each one of us. And that's what you're searching for. The time to hear him. And there will be times where you hear him more than you do at other times. But I don't go. I don't think I go a day without thanking him, at least, for something. Something. I had a great day, thank you. Thank you for the clouds. Thank you for the sun. There's always something that I am thanking him for every single day. Sometimes I talk to him. Other times I don't. I'm busy doing other things and my mind's wandering. And then I realize, shit, I gotta come back to this. Because I get wrapped up into that working and money and all of that. I get wrapped into it. And then I have to realize, wait a minute, slow down. This needs to be more often and more important than anything else. And he always makes sure to tug me back. I probably don't get past a couple of days. Used to be longer. The intervals used to be longer before I would. I mean, that's why I always joked in previous videos that I told my mother that God has to smack me upside the head to get me to listen. It's the reason I said that. Because I didn't always listen. I knew, but I pretended that I didn't know. And I got myself in more trouble. Why? Because I was buying into what they were telling me. As long as I put my time and effort more into him than anything else, the more freedom and peace I felt. The more I didn't care about that shit. I want to live on my terms. And my terms are, I want to go see the great big world. I don't need a shit ton of money to do it. Yeah, this thing's expensive for gas. But I take my car with me. I work wherever I go. So if I want to go someplace and I stay there for a month or two, I got plenty of time to get money together to get to the next location. I do. I take my car so I can work wherever I go. I'm not stuck anywhere. Now, I have to get into that mental mode of let's bust my butt so I can get the money together and get the hell out of here. And I can do it. But I still keep in connection with him through it all. And now, after the last 5 years of really putting most of my effort into him, my time and attention has been on him and letting him guide me these last 5 years. And now those little, oops, I'm falling away, only happens for like a day or two to maybe a week, but that's very rare. Majority of the time, it's a couple of days, and then I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing? Go back. And every time I go back, I get to keep progressing. And the less and less I keep wandering off. Isn't that what Jesus movies taught us? He forgave them. Some of them wandered back into it. And they came back and said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I walked away from you. And he says, it's okay. And he embraces you and brings you right back in like you were never gone. And eventually, it's less and less that you start to wander. And then you start to notice you wandering when you're in the middle of living your life. You're like, oh shit, that's not me. That's not my idea. Heading down the wandering path. And you come like instantly back. It's faith is not a belief. Faith is knowing. Faith is trusting. It's knowing that the more you trust him, the more your life gets more peaceful. You have more freedom. You're not tethered to the stuff that you've been conditioned to be tethered to. It's an amazing place to be. It's been 5 years. I probably could have shortened it up a lot. That's why I usually leave you guys with my contact information, because honestly, you want help, I might be able to help shorten yours up a little bit. Anyways, I just wanted to share this stuff with you. It came in my head tonight, so I will let you go. Have a great night, guys. Love ya. Bye.